Welcome to the Salt Circle podcast. My name is Hank. With me, friend of all children, Ben.
Oh man, you could not have picked a better way to trigger me right off the bat. Oh, what was the name of that? When we did an anime. It was the director who did Summer Wars, I guess. Summer Wars and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and there were like two others.
Hosoda?
Sure, yeah. Do you remember the movie with the kid? Like, it's the kid going like through time or whatever, and like talking to his sister or something.
Yeah, that's the title I don't remember. Because I think it's just a character's name.
Okay, but you remember the main character like starting off as a whiny little bitch, and I had to tap out, right?
Yeah.
I didn't tap out of these, but I wish that certain monsters weren't friend to all children. I wish they.
Mirai was the.
Mirai. Yeah.
Movie.
Well.
Oh, you didn't like these?
Not
a fan.
I thought they were fine. I found the kids incredibly annoying, which was the last one was maybe a little better. It felt tighter. We did Gamera. We're doing Gamera movies. Gamera. Yeah.
So we watched the first 4 Gamera movies. Gamera the Giant Monster, Gamera versus Barugon, Gamera versus Gyaos, and Gamera versus Viras.
Yeah.
These are Godzilla knockoff movies.
Yeah, that like the whole time I was like, you know, and an ongoing theme for most of these is that he is friendly to children. Like Gamera is saving kids. He's actively
He's the friend of all children.
Yeah, he's not destroying them. And the whole time I was just like, Godzilla wouldn't be putting up with this bullshit. He'd fucking eat those kids. Like, they were just so annoying.
There aren't really any kids in Gamera versus Barugon.
Yeah,
it's kind of the most boring movie, but
I mean, yeah,
there aren't any kids in it.
Yeah, no, that's why. Like, I on one hand, I kind of feel like it's the best of the bunch for me. On the other hand, it focused so much on the. It felt like it focused more on the people, I guess.
Yeah,
like on that side of things. So I wasn't a huge fan of that, but like. It's a tough balance. No kids, more humans. It's a struggle.
I don't know. I love these movies. But like they're not good. I like the dumb monster stuff.
Oh yeah. No, his design is great.
These are definitely movies where it's like you're looking for like the 15 minutes of gold within the 90 minutes of slop. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's start with Gamera the Giant Monster, which is just a ripoff of Godzilla with a couple small details changed.
Yeah.
Pretty much. This is also the only one that's also in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, instead of being created by nuclear bombs, just a random plane crashes and there's a nuclear explosion that wakes up a prehistoric giant turtle.
Okay, Gamera. I mean, allegedly. You can't prove that it wasn't that kid's pet turtle. You can't prove it. Have you ever seen that pet turtle and Gamera in the same room at the same time? I don't think so. Yeah. Check and mate, sir.
Sure. He's a prehistoric turtle, though. Because he's also an alien, like a UFO.
Well, that's
because the first major difference. Oh, so the first major difference is he saves this one kid. He saves Koshiro, I think is his name. Like, he murders
something
everyone
like that.
else, but this one kid he saves, and this one kid loves him and doesn't want anybody to hurt Gamera.
He's not evil. He's just lonely.
He's definitely evil in this movie.
No, he's
He
misunderstood.
fucks a lot of shit up. But the best part is, so it's just a fire-breathing big turtle at first.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the big things that sets Gamera apart in terms of effects is just, he actually just shoots fire out of his mouth. It's just like this giant flame instead of like an effect.
Yeah.
Like a post effect. He's just like shooting fire everywhere, which is neat to see. I like it. Their plan is to knock Gamera onto his back so that he'll die like a turtle. Classic killing a big turtle.
Good.
And
Dude,
then Gamera, the thing that really makes this movie memorable, or it really makes Gamera as a big monster memorable, is he pulls himself in, and then he starts shooting out flame jets from all his arms and leg slots, and then starts spinning and flies away.
Yeah.
Like a UFO.
God.
And that is so good.
It's fucking, like, it's so dumb, but it's amazing.
It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was like that was definitely, I mean, it was not a subtle moment, but like up until that point I'm like, okay. Seems kind of generic. I don't know what Hank's playing at. I see. Yeah. Spinning UFO jet turtle.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yeah. So that's really the thing with this movie, is just like, other than that, yeah, it's like a generic monster movie with this annoying kid who's in love with Gamera.
Yeah.
But then at the end plan of how to deal with Gamera, there's no like secret weapon. Their secret weapon is, we're gonna put him on a rocket and shoot him to Mars.
So fucking terrible.
We're gonna Planet Hulk him.
Dude,
he walks onto this giant rocket that just like folds out and then folds closed to the top of him, so he's just like in the top of this giant rocket that shoots him into space. Fuck it, it's Mars's problem now.
Well, yeah. God, all of the solutions in all of these movies are just kind of bad.
They're amazing.
They're just awful.
Best plans. The best plans.
Also, Gamera is taking a one-way trip to Mars. The world is celebrating. And the kid is all like, I want to be a scientist so I can go to Mars and visit Gamera. That kid's name? Elon Musk. Fucking, just such a terrible. Ugh.
Well, he's the I like turtles meme before it was cool.
Oh, that just does nothing. He's just, imagine. I mean, the runtime is already at apparently 78 minutes. We probably could have cut that down even more.
Oh yeah, see now you see sometimes Godzilla time too much, even.
Yeah.
I'm turning you on Godzilla time being always good. I see.
I mean,
a dark place.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the precipice of digging too deep.
Okay, well, yeah, we don't really need. There's nothing else to that first Gamera movie, really.
Yeah.
Gamera smashes some stuff, but it's just those two things really are what make it kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Gamera versus Barugon, which is like, basically it's just Godzilla raids again. We've got these two monsters and they're fighting near a pagoda. But then there's this whole human plot that is like way too much setup of these guys going to get this opal that one of the guy's brother like hid in a cave back during the war, but he can't go. And so they go there, they find, the classic natives village. There's like the one Japanese dude and the one girl who lives there who speak English. All the tropes.
Dude, it was
and then they find that the cave is in that cave, it's the Valley of Rainbows. There is no valley, but it's the Valley of Rainbows.
Yeah, you can't imagine my disappointment.
But they're these super poisonous scorpions that just like they sting you and you're insta dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they go into this cave. They find the opal. And then one of the guys sees a scorpion on the dude who found the opal, and he doesn't say anything. He just waits for the
inevitable
opal to sting this dude. And then he's got like this giant purple pus wound and like dies really fast. While the brother of the guy who had originally hid the opal is like all upset about it, and this other dude sneaks off and then starts chucking grenades into the cave. He just like he gets the opal and he's like, I'm just gonna fucking start hucking grenades in here, and then he runs off. And also he gets some malaria. It's like a note later. But so the other dude doesn't die from all the grenades though. He wakes up in the village and then gets told that the opal, it's not an opal. It's an egg. Is he told it's an egg at first? Do they know? Or do they just know that like they have to get it out of there?
Unless
it's a cursed object.
Yeah, unless I'm drastically misremembering, they just do like this is bad because it's bad. Like it's not they're definitely an opal. It's a bad thing.
If they just told them it's an egg, it's not an opal, like that might have worked. Instead, they're just like, no, it's cursed.
Cursed
like,
opal.
Fucking curses.
Will it drive
curses
the price up?
Real.
Yeah, no, it was infuriating.
So eventually, like the dude and the one villager who speaks English, they're gonna go try and track this opal down. And this is the dude. As the dude gets there with the opal, like he gets talked into going to doing a poker game, or no, to play mahjong, I think.
Yeah.
And he has this heat lamp to treat his athlete's foot that he picked up. Also, he has malaria, but nobody seems to really care. And then while he leaves the room and he's put the egg in like a coat pocket, like the heat lamp heats it up and the egg hatches.
Okay,
and out comes little baby Barugon.
We need to be clear. By heats it up, you mean was pointed at the coat pocket for all of 30 seconds?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it wasn't pointed at the coat when he left the room.
Yeah,
but
no,
it was
it's
definitely
like
pointed at the coat when we cut back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was pointed the opposite way.
That whole scene was a fucking mess.
So this little lizard crawls out.
Cute little guy.
Yeah. And then the whole ship starts exploding. And the guy gets out, gets rescued with everyone else, and it's like thinks the opals like then the other people find him and he's like, no, the opal, it was in the boat, it sank. We'll have to get a diving team to get it out. And then like there's this purple water starts bubbling up, and then fucking full grown Barugon is here smashing up stuff.
Yeah.
And Barugon, very similar to in terms of like general appearance, there's also a four-legged lizard monster from Godzilla, the franchise, Barugon.
Yeah, I had to check. I'm like,
Yeah,
this sounds
there's a
incredibly
Barugon.
familiar.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because it was what is it? It's one of the ones. I think it's giant monsters all at attack. Ghidorah and Mothra. It's one of the ones that has Ghidorah and Mothra in the title, but also Barugon is in it, but he doesn't get to be in the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here we have Barugon, but Barugon has different powers. He's got this tongue that looks like a Yoshi tongue, but he like bashes things with it. Like he walks up to this tower and he just fucking smacks it with his tongue. And then also his out of that tongue shoots like frost breath. Like his frost breath doesn't come from his mouth, it comes from his fucking tongue after he sticks it out. And he freezes stuff on tanks that he fights. That's his first power.
Yeah. He's, his warm up.
Yeah. So then, like, right, the guy goes to original guy who hid the opal, who's like our hero's brother, and he like tries to talk him into they need to like get a diving team to go get the opal.
Yeah,
and he ends up like
so sad.
kicking the shit out of that guy and his wife, and leaving them to die, and they get murdered by Barugon.
Yeah.
So he's also killed those people. And then eventually our hero like tracks him down and tells him, no, the opal isn't buried at the sea. The opal was the egg that is this monster. And then they fight. And like the problem is their fights are kind of more entertaining than the monster fights in this movie, because the monster fights in this movie are so slow.
Yeah.
Like when Barugon and Gamera are on screen, it really feels like these are two dudes in suits, like staring at each other on all fours. You really feel the people just fucking sitting there, like not doing much. So yeah, that plot kind of fizzles out at that point after they fight, because there is no more opal.
Well,
so we get he comes back later, but first we get our Barugon versus Gamera fight, which ends with Barugon using his ice powers on Gamera and freezing him, and then Gamera is frozen for a fucking long time in this movie. He's just fucking turned to ice.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, so we got to shoot missiles at Barugon. We're going to take him out with missiles. And then as they open up the missiles, Barugon reveals another power. He shoots a rainbow. Like just a rainbow comes out of his back and lands. The end of the rainbow lands at the missiles and they all explode.
Yeah.
These explosive rainbows. I guess he does that before Gamera, because the rainbow is a thing that summons Gamera, actually.
Right. Yeah, he's like...
Yeah, and also
Gamera
was in that. I forgot to mention, Gamera was in the missile sending him to Mars, but like a meteor hit his ship and he was free. He's stronger than ever.
Okay, see, I was wondering if I just like if I spaced or didn't mention that was one of my favorite things. Like just like, how are we gonna bring this back? Fuck it, just bonk him out of thing.
Yeah,
so stupid.
He's fine. He flies back.
Yeah.
And he like lands at a dam, like drains the electric power and then blows up the dam for no reason. You know, our hero. Because honestly, they haven't yet figured out that this is just kids movies. They don't really figure that out till the next one of what they're making.
Yeah.
Like this one, and I saw in the reception, this one kind of bombed because they kind of like lost the thread on having not enough monster fighting and having too much of this human stuff up front.
Yeah.
Like just too much plot.
Oh, yeah. No, it feels like a modern Godzilla movie.
It's slow. It is too slow for this 100-minute movie. Yeah, so Barugon blows up the missiles, freezes Gamera. They're these shots of Gamera like in his UFO mode, spinning around, like just smacking this rainbow.
Yeah.
Because he's like attracted to the power of it or whatever. And then like eventually they figure out, they're like looking through the destruction of Barugon, and they're like, oh, what's this? All the mirrors survived. None of like the rear view mirrors of the cars he blew up were destroyed.
Is that?
They're in pristine condition.
No, I think you got something out of order.
I mean, I'm sure I'm skipping something.
That diamond, that fat diamond.
Yeah, no, but they only bring out the diamond. Oh, right. They do the thing. They try to lure him to the water with the diamond. You're right. I forgot that's what they do with the diamond first.
Yeah, right. I forgot that it was water, honestly. I just thought it was.
Yeah.
I forgot what the plan was. That was my other thing. How the fuck is this dude alive if his weakness is water?
Well, no, it's just when he's in water, he just constantly bleeds. That's why the water was all purple when he emerged, because he was just fucking bleeding out of his skin constantly until he climbed out of the water. It's not like an insta death. It's a slow, painful death, which makes it really more absurd that like the way they killed them is luring them into water. But also, this is like an abnormally huge Barugon because he was exposed to the heat lamp.
Yeah, yeah.
The radiation of the
yeah, so that because that dude is like the greedy dude wants to he's like after that diamond. They didn't attract Barugon. They attracted what's his name.
Well, that again, that's later. That's when they're gonna reflect the rainbow.
Yeah.
But first, they try to lure Barugon to the water with the diamond, because apparently Barugon is like a species of animals that just love diamonds, and on this island they would just always chuck these diamonds into the water, and the Barugon would follow the diamond into the water because they're idiots and die. They're like, fucking shiny, I don't care that I'm gonna fucking bleed out of my skin, I gotta get it. Gotta have it.
He's fuck, I can't remember the name. What's the term that is used in Gulliver's Travels for the humans? Like,
Yahoo.
The Yahoos?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. He's a little Yahoo. All about that bling.
It's all about that that shiny.
Yeah, man.
So they like hang it from a helicopter to try and lure him to the water. But it doesn't work. So their secret diamond plan that they brought this giant diamond from the village fails. And then they figure out the rear view mirror is left thing.
Ugh.
So they're like, oh, mirrors are immune to his rainbows, so we got to build a big mirror to reflect his rainbow back at him. And they demonstrate how this is a good idea by using a blowtorch to melt another blowtorch.
Yeah, no,
to show how a tool can be weak to itself.
Yeah, just like melting the pipe.
Science.
Of the blowtorch. Yeah, Jesus, it's such a terrible analogy. What's
so they
the
like
best
have
way
these
to
remote control tanks? They attack him to like try and pull out his rainbow attack.
Yeah,
and then he does it, and eventually, like. At first, he just destroys all the tanks and doesn't hit the mirror, and it's like you could see how this plan could really fail, because like he just doesn't have to shoot the mirror.
Yeah,
that's easy enough. But no, he shoots the mirror, and it reflects back on him, and it like melts his back, but he's still fine. He just has like he's like all bleeding out of his back. He's got like this purple back wound now, and they're like, oh no, we didn't kill him. Now he'll never use his rainbow powers again. He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Can't do anything else. Don't have a second, like, now we can shoot missiles at him. Nope. He's never going to use his rainbows. Now he's unstoppable. We got nothing. No next part of this plan.
Yeah, dude.
The next part of the plan, though, is then Gamera melts. I don't actually remember where it is, because at some point they are doing something with that diamond, and the dude who tried to kill everyone and stole it, like, finds out where the diamond is, goes to steal it himself, ends up stealing it, gets on a boat, and then Barugon fucking tongues him and eats him. That's the end of that dude. But I don't remember.
Is that?
I guess that is the point when they.
Yeah,
I guess that is when they lured him to the water. Is that part ends?
That after it?
I have the timeline a little messed up in my head, I guess.
Let's do a little peek here.
But yeah, that dude gets eaten. That's how that dude's story ends.
All right. Okay, Fat Diamond. No, that's the opal. Frozen in place. The plan fails due to the diamond's insufficient radiation. Another attempt by irradiating the diamond with additional infrared radiation almost succeeds until he steals
They have like that
it.
Contraption they put it in.
Yeah.
So there's a second luring him with the diamond plan that I missed. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the take two on that one as well.
Mm-hmm. So that happens. Yeah, and then Gamera and Barugon have another fight, and this time Gamera, like, wins. I think doesn't Gamera just drag him into the water? Like, I can fucking barely remember that. The fight is bad. It's like dark.
Yeah. Yeah, Gamera basically just like hucks him into the lake, doesn't he? And then just, he just drowns him and then then fucks off immediately.
And then like the dude and the native girl hook up.
I will always be alone. No, you won't. You should have been. Arguably.
Yeah, so that one, again, the memorable part, this monster shoots a rainbow. That's hilarious. That's like the memorable thing here, really. Everything else, forgettable.
The moment that like stuck with me, even though it was incorrect and I just had missed a not a key plot point, but like important to what I was thinking. When they go to New Guinea, and they're chilling and they're meeting all these people and whatever, and they're all like they're kind of mostly offensive rendition of what this place looks like, and then the main chick walks in and she's like 18 shades whiter than everybody else, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah, she's the one that speaks English.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I guess if she's Japanese and she's not like New Guinean, like it still looks bad. It's still, yeah.
But I mean, again, it's bad in the way those Godzilla movies are bad.
Oh,
basically.
dude, the Godzilla, I still have uncomfortable feelings about the stuff with the King Kong.
Yeah,
group.
no.
That's
yep.
It's no good.
It's no good. No good. And it's those same tropes. It's like it's just but it is interesting like seeing all these imperialism tropes coming from, cuz Japan pretty imperialist. Like
yeah.
Still it's not white people doing it, but it's all that same shit.
Mhm.
And it's, reflected from American movies, too. That's like, it's one of the things to remember. Like, part of it is how part of the reason those tropes are bad is because then they reflect into other cultures who just pick them up and then reflect them back.
Mm-hmm.
And just pick them up as tropes.
Yeah.
Without having like any thought to why they're fucked up. You know. Yeah. So it goes.
Yeah, so
circle of life.
As far as the 4 films from today go, this one rates an easy 10 on how many annoying children it had in it.
There are no annoying children, correct.
Boom.
And it is then this film, the failures of this film, though, the part that is kind of boring, is what led them to hard target children.
Yep.
For the rest of this era of Gamera.
And
which leads us into
brutal.
Gamera versus Gyaos.
Just awful. I mean, the movie, I guess.
Gyaos is a great monster.
Yeah.
He's a vampire. He's a big bat that's a vampire. He drinks blood.
Yeah, man.
And dies to the sun. And shoots lasers. And has weird fire retardant spray that comes out of his nipples.
Yeah, that...
Just like vampires. Like all vampires.
That was an uncomfortable scene, to say the least. Like, just...
Like stains the costume.
Just, yeah,
spray it out.
Yeah, just... Ugh, it was just...
This yellow spray.
Squirting out. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I love the practical effects. I love all of it.
It's not cereal friendly.
So, like, this one, like, starts with, like, there's a volcano erupting. Oh, look, there's Gamera. He fucking loves volcanoes.
Yeah, that's his tagline. Gamera, slut for volcanic activity.
Mm-hmm. This movie, it does do the thing of, like, the military is all, like, trying to figure out their plan for how to deal with this monster. And they're like, this little kid forces his way in. It's like, no, I know the thing because I know the monsters. His name's Gyaos because I named him because that's the name I wanted him to have.
Yeah. God, I hated
that's
that
why he's named
so
Gyaos.
Fucking much.
Because that little kid named him.
They were like, I hated how they validated him. They let him sit at the table.
They let him sit at the table.
They're all looking at him and like letting him explain.
Yeah, man. He's the giant monster expert. Been researching giant monsters his whole life. Been waiting for this moment.
Even though I literally saw it happen in my head, it's still him like kicking back, all smug, like, yeah, he was pretty big. He did this. This is his power, probably. Little punk.
Ben hates children.
Confirmed.
So one of the cool things about Gyaos is he shoots these lasers.
Yeah.
Only if you can put them in little handcuffs do you like children, I see.
Well,
you're an evil Sith Lord.
Not handcuffs. If I was a Sith Lord, I'd just kill the children. I'm not a Sith Lord. I don't condone.
What if you needed their blood?
Well, for what purpose?
To build Snoke clones.
To build Snoke clones. That seems counterproductive to my interests. If it was like
I mean, not if you're a Sith Lord.
I mean, if it was like a witch thing, right? Like I need the blood of youth to keep me young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm their elder. I'm asking something of them. It'd be disrespectful not to give me their blood.
Okay. So the cool thing about Gyaos is he fires lasers and they cut things perfectly.
What? He's
like
accurate.
He shoots these planes and they just like split right down, and then you get a good shot of like people in this plane like falling over each other as their plane tears apart completely, very cleanly in half before like exploding.
Yeah.
And later he cuts a car in half, and like half of the car still goes.
Yeah, it was
funny bit.
Reminded me of the fuck. Oh, right. I'm like forgetting the names of every single thing we've ever watched. In Dr. Goldfoot, when the cycle like separated,
Yeah,
just like goes perfectly.
Yeah. It's like, and like the movie does not have that kind of silly tone. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just there.
Like, it's not like this movie is like super serious, but yeah, it's not that silly either.
Yeah.
It's not that slapsticky, I guess. Yeah, so like this volcano has disturbed Gyaos's lair and woken it up, and now he's going around eating people.
You know.
And he gets in a fight with Gamera and basically kicks the crap out of Gamera, like almost cuts off Gamera's arm.
Yeah,
like there's some slitting going on here. Like his laser cuts like over halfway through Gamera's arm.
Could have been worse.
And Gamera's just fucking bleeding everywhere. Another thing about these movies, these monsters fucking just bleed in this batch of movies.
Very.
So much fake blood.
Very moist scenes.
Yes. These are moist monsters. They're trying to cover up how like fucking cheap they are with moisture. Just throw water on them. It's fine. Caked fake blood.
Yeah. So
Gamera
the backdrop.
Does he do like the spin move here? Where he like rolls it Gyaos on his side?
Fuck, I think so. Doesn't he do it twice? I thought one of them was like successful and the other one was like just
yeah, one of the time
like,
Gyaos just fucking knocks him. Yeah.
Like,
knocks him to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backdrop to all of this is a group of villagers who are trying to prevent their village from being like steamrolled to build a freeway, which is a totally original thing.
Well, it's kind of original. I haven't seen a movie that does it this way, where by the end of the movie
they decide that it's the best option.
The tension is the villagers really want to sell their village for this highway to be built, but they have to solve the monster problem so that the sale can go through.
Well, I mean,
it's not like we gotta by the end. It's not we gotta save the village from the megacorp or whatever. It's like no, we gotta sell this fucking shithole village.
Well,
so that we can get fucking liquid.
Look, Gamera is nothing if not a proponent of capitalist tendencies.
It's like, man, it's weird. I've never seen that version of the trope before, I'll say. A lot of fucking
the ending
movies is weird. But yeah, like it's classic setup, but it goes in a different direction.
Yeah. The setup
like
those
that's the
initial
Gamera
scenes,
series. The setup's pretty generic, but then something you wouldn't expect happens.
And Gamera once again.
And there's like a scene where like the like townsfolk come and yell at the old grandpa because he told them to wait, and then the little kid gets mad at them for yelling at his grandpa and starts throwing all his.
I was gonna
toys
fucking get to that. That scene validates the idea that earlier when Gamera saves that little shit, he should have just chomped down a little snack instead of rescuing his ass from a Ferris wheel.
Gamera saves the kid, and the kid like gets to ride on Gamera's back, and Gamera flies with just propulsing himself with his two hind legs, so he's not spinning, so the kid doesn't fall off. So Gamera only spins to fly because he likes spinning. He doesn't have to spin.
Well, maybe it's
more part of the flying.
Maybe it's more efficient. Maybe
probably faster.
Maybe he's cutting through the air more.
Yeah.
Something I don't
And then
know.
He takes the kid to an amusement park.
Ugh.
So the kid can get off. He leans over so the kid can get saved.
Yeah, step on the top of the Ferris wheel.
He waits. Yeah.
The scene of them
Very
flying
helpful.
with the little kid like holding on to one of his spikes and like screaming in joy is one of the most enraging scenes I've ever seen in any film. God, I hated it so much. Just awful. I mean, maybe it's just the like I'll give the kid the benefit of the doubt and just assume that he was pulling a Jake Lloyd and doing what he was told, but goddamn was he told to do some stupid stuff. I did not like the performance.
There's no nuance to this kid. Look,
Yeah.
he loves Gamera. He's infatuated with Gamera.
I'm told like they let him into the conference afterwards and he gets a swollen head.
Yeah, man. He knows. He knows all about Gyaos. Although,
man.
again, you learn way more about Gyaos just by Gyaos doing stuff than any of the fucking exposition. Like really, you could really cut the exposition. Because they're actually really good at exposing what Gyaos can do by just him doing it. Like, yeah, I can't defend the non-monster parts, but the monster parts are fucking good. I don't know. Gyaos is a really, really cool villain. That's all I'm saying. He's a good monster.
Yeah, the plan.
So
or one of the initial plans. Get him into his stadium, and fucking turn on the lights. What a banger! God,
you gotta
like imagine being a military like strategist in this universe. Like, why were you hired? Well, I was an art major and successfully minored in, I don't know, bullshittery. Patrick Star would be a top general in this fucking universe. Just take Bikini Bottom and push it off the ledge. Just move the city. Like, that's what we're dealing with.
Pretty fucking much. Pretty much. Yeah. But it turns out Gamera can just fly away. Or Gyaos can just fly home.
Gamera also could fly away if he chose.
It's true. But Gamera isn't weak to light. The way Gyaos is, because Gyaos is a vampire who hates fire and sunlight. His head starts turning red, so you know he's dying. He starts yelling. But yeah, but it's like the next plan to beat him that's the best. Where they're like, okay, so he can just fly home. What we gotta do is make him dizzy.
No.
That way,
you're skipping.
Am I skipping something?
I don't. No, right. Okay, you're not. I guess you're not skipping something, because this was all like, they
does he gets his toe cut off before this?
Yeah, and that's when you learn like it's in the thing, and the UV light causes it to shrink or whatever.
Yeah, because they figure out that he has two throats.
Yeah, right. The two throats thing. Holy fuck! I forgot about
two
that.
Two throats.
Jesus Christ.
Then he's got two throats.
Two throats.
That's what we needed scientists for. Like, there's no way I was going to be able to know he had two throats without scientists.
Why the fuck are you still... Why are you dating this kaiju? Two throats, my dude. Two throats.
Also, Gyaos, you learn... The cool thing is you learn Gyaos can regrow his toe, because, like, they have his toe, and he's, like, in this cave, and he starts regrowing his toe. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then they learn that he's weak to sunlight, because, like, they expose the toe to stuff, and it starts shrinking.
Yeah, or like, didn't fishermen find it or something? And they're like, it was bigger than this when we brought it.
Yeah, it keeps getting smaller, like as it's like exposed to the sun.
I like how the leap in logic in that scene was not he will get smaller, and then we can deal with him. It was he'll die. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, I guess. But yeah, okay. So then to your part, to the meat of this plan.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, what we gotta do is make him dizzy so he can't fly home. So, but we have to lure him in. And we've noticed he likes eating people. Like occasionally he'll just grab a handful of people and chomp, chomp, chomp. Nom, 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 nom. So we gotta feed him blood, clearly. He'll love blood. So we need a big fucking vat of blood to draw him in. Artificial blood tastes and smells like blood. Easy. No problem. We got that covered. We're going to put it in this thing, and we're going to put it on... Is it like a carousel? What do they build it on? The thing that spins.
The hotel roof.
Right. There's like a hotel with like a rotating
thing.
Tower thing.
So
they build this thing on top of it. This vat of blood on top of it.
I hate that and it's the kid too. Because they're like deciding how to do this, and the kid like bursts in, is all like, "What if we made him dizzy?" Like, that's it. And then he like probably looked at the general. He's like, "You're fucking fired. Why didn't you think to make it dizzy, dumbass?"
Isn't it
quick
to the hotel? Like someone gets dizzy, and they're like, "Oh, there's like I think there's one of those like classic like somebody says something." That then spurs the different idea. It's not really something like you're a genius. You thought of like that's not the thing they thought of, but it like points the logic to making him dizzy.
Maybe the kid just like said something then. Either way, I remember him showing his ugly mug.
He was there, but I don't think he came up with that plan. But again, it's a
maybe he might have. Maybe he said something and then someone else is like, "Wait a minute." Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so they endeavor to...
Yeah, they inadvertently give... The Wikipedia summary, so they inadvertently give the doctor the idea of making him dizzy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's like caused by the kid and his sister bursting into the room. And
disgusting.
And saying something or something. You know. Classic. Character says a thing and then it's like, of course!
Yeah.
That's it. And you do something different. So yeah, Gyaos lands on this building and starts drinking this fake blood, and then they start spinning him around, and it's hilarious. Because that's what happens. Spins around.
Yeah.
It turns out, getting dizzy, he still figures out how to leave.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work.
It was shockingly not a great plan.
Like, Gyaos smashes everything. He gets real fucking pissed. But, he just bounces. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I guess part of it is, like, the like, motor on the thing. It can't handle the power of the giant monster standing on it, and the whole thing starts exploding.
That's something, yeah. I just remember it was a...
But, like, that's, like, the only explanation for it, other than, like, a Gyaos could have just, stepped off, also.
Yeah. This next part is super blurry, but I definitely know this is somewhere in here is where the kid has his temper tantrum.
Yeah, this is where because this is like around when the villagers have turned from into like they've gotten their heads that they need to sell their land because like their cattle's all gone or whatever. Like their land is now worth less to them.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, selling it is the only way out. Gotta get rid of this shit land. And they get mad because they could have taken an earlier deal and they didn't, because the like elder, who's the like grandpa of the kid, told them to just hold on, to play it cool. Not that, like, no, we don't sell our land. It's, we gotta sell it till we get the best price. See, it's about their greed.
Yeah.
Turning it back on them.
Because adults are greedy, and that's why the kid gets to have his little temper tantrum, which I theorize was...
He's just mad they're bullying his grandpa. Don't bully grandpa.
Yeah, it's like that fucking meme. There was no tantrum in the script. This little fucker just started yelling and throwing shit, and it turns out the cameras were rolling the whole time.
He does aggressively throw all his toys.
He starts throwing shit. Yeah, it's like a full tantrum.
Yeah.
Why? Actually, what they should have done, since this is clearly marketed like directly to children, just have after the tantrum, have Gamera eat him. Gamera's a friend of good children.
And then it's like, oh, you greedy villagers. This is Gyaos' punishment because of our greed. Not like happened to be woken up by this volcano or anything. Nope. Which is definitely... like, the movie doesn't really push that. It's just like a thing somebody says, I think.
I had to fucking check. Because I remember it being said, but I couldn't remember the exact how. Yeah, this kid is like... starting a forest fire would get Gamera to come.
Gamera loves forest fires. Fucking loves them.
Ugh.
So they like start a forest fire near Gyaos' cave. Gyaos hates forest fires, so he'll come out to put the fire out. And then Gamera will come because Gamera fucking loves fires. He just fucking has to see it.
Little pyromaniac.
So yeah, that... So they summon Gamera, and Gamera's been like hiding out underwater, healing his, waiting for his arm to heal.
Yeah.
Bleeding out. And this time, fucking Gamera kicks the shit out of Gyaos and fucking drags his ass into the volcano.
Yep. Just like, finish him.
Just fucking...
no like, mercy.
Drags him all the way up Mount Fuji, throws him in, and then leaves.
Hell yeah.
And then sayonara, sayonara. Kid waves goodbye to Gamera.
Just awful.
This is the first movie with like the song, right? The Gamera song.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I love the Gamera song.
I am not a child, so I do not appreciate the Gamera song.
Wow. You do not know how to enjoy things anymore. Your heart is cold.
That's true. No, my heart's not cold. Still can't watch the Raid.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Where he picked with the hammer?
That was the one where he picked up a hammer, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Any carpenter goes for a hammer, flashbacks. No tool is safe from my anxieties.
And now we have our fourth movie, Gamera versus Viras.
Yeah, this was my worst nightmare. As someone who was previously disgruntled with the amount of children in the film, this like starting out with the Boy Scouts is
What if we had 2 kids?
Yeah.
2 main kids.
Twice this stupid.
And they sneak into a sub and they change its controls around by reversing the polarity. And the scientist cannot figure it out. Like, he even figures out that going backwards is the opposite, but he still can't drive the sub.
Yeah.
These kids sabotage. So then he's like, oh, nobody gets to ride in the sub. And the kids are like, no, let us. We'll prove it to you. And somehow that works. And these 2 kids get in the sub by themselves. And they ride it fine. And then Gamera shows up and they have fun together. They race.
Yeah, we race Gamera. Whoa, it's Gamera. Don't we need to be concerned? No, of course not. Gamera is a friend to all children.
Gamera's a friend to all children, man.
They didn't have to say it. That made it worse.
A friend to all children.
Just awful.
Yeah. I read a thing like with starting with the Gyaos movie, like they started thinking about the way they were making these movies like they were children's books. It's like the approach
It
to
didn't
like
work.
pacing.
Oh, that's why they needed to introduce a fuckload of prior footage.
Scientists. Uh-huh. Oh, right, because this is the
They're-
one where
they're
Gamera gets mind controlled, and they literally just show footage from the first movie.
Yeah.
That's still in black and white.
Or it was something like, we're looking at his memories or whatever the hell it was.
No, they literally show that because they've mind controlled him to destroy the city. They did the memory thing. They do the memory thing too.
Okay, so they
But
doubled
also
it.
in this movie, they're mind controlling him to destroy the city, and the movie just reuses that other footage. Because these movies had a small budget.
Oh yeah.
This company was not doing particularly well.
Was real disappointed that the aliens were not some sort of bumblebee based on their ship design.
Their ship is neat. I like their ship.
Dude, their
It's like
ship
these-
is just bumblebee asses glued together. That is an
Yeah.
undisputed.
And then they're all also like individual ships too.
Yeah.
They can fly off independently
Yeah.
and get thrown at each other.
Yeah,
So like a lot of like the first part of this movie is Gamera fighting this spaceship.
yeah, and he like kicks its ass.
Yeah, he like smashes through and like kicks its ass, and then the title card pops up. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the pace of that part is pretty
Oh, that was
pretty
it was
nifty.
a decent bit. So the idea,
because like and the ship is like they're like about to blow up, and they're like, we have to warn everyone about the monster. And then, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Gamera shows up on the screen. Like it's well done.
so the aliens decide that the best way to take care of Gamera is she likes children, right? So what
Yeah.
better way to trick him or to force his hand than to capture two children? See, this is why it's
Yeah.
a weakness, Hank.
They kidnapped 2 children, and now Gamera has to, attack cities and kill thousands.
Godzilla wouldn't have stood for
They
that
do
shit.
also mind control him. Like they just they use the kids to hostage him so that they can get the mind control device on his neck. But yeah, that does happen.
If it was Godzilla they tried this shit on, and they were like, if you attack us, we'll kill these kids, Godzilla would be like, sick. Another reason to attack you. And just go for it anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of this movie is spent on the ship with the kids
Yes.
who take the time to get some juice, eat some sandwiches.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Ship works on telepathy, but it won't let you do it. It just the only limit is anything that will harm the ship or the other aliens. It won't let you do.
I'm telling you,
But
I would
they
have.
summon sandwiches.
Yeah, I would
And
have
they
been.
come out as like hexagonally.
Yeah, the crust like
no
cut
crust.
off and. Yeah, I would have. The film would have stopped there for me if I was in that. Like, are you telling me I could summon like food that I desire at a whim? Okay, well, don't send me
But the
back.
important thing is that they figure out, just like with the sub, they can reverse the polarity by switching 2 things around.
Two things
like,
like
open
this. Don't
2
disrespect
big
those-
triangles.
Yeah. Don't disrespect the elongated triangles like that.
Yeah, they like open a panel, pull out 2 triangles out of an all triangle panel, switch them around, and now the beam that brought them up into the ship sends them back down. Classic. Also, one of the so they find one of like the actual aliens. They think it's like some other prisoner, but it's just turned by the end. It's just one of those same aliens who's like in a cage or whatever.
Well, yeah,
And it's like a weird peeled banana monster.
Yeah, it's like imagine a squid, but if the squid was also like a peeled banana. It's a pretty good way of the peanut butter jelly banana. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're like all silver. And then
They
like
got a squid beak though.
Yes, it has a little beak. The face is very dumb.
It's bad.
Yeah. But also they have this shot of like the humans with like weird fake eyes, dead eyes that like light up.
And they can't speak without blinking 100 times.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And also one of them like shoots their arm off to grab the kids at one point. It's just our whole like the kids have this thing where they have like they're really good. One of them's really good at like throwing a rope to like lasso things. There's this bit where like one of their hats flies off and shoots straight to the top of a pole.
Yeah,
and the other kid busts out a lasso and instantly grabs it back to show that they're really good with this lasso. And that pays off with they grab one of the aliens' arms and then they pull off the arm. And the arm like flies to them and grabs them and then flies back to the alien.
A real top level.
And it has
shit.
Classic, just like hunk of meat, like bone and meat, like end.
Yeah.
Like a classic ham.
Yeah, like a little cartoon
ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, there's like stock footage of Gamera destroying the city.
I thought
there's an earlier part of them viewing memories where it's just like a bunch of Gamera versus Gyaos again.
Yeah. I actually thought the bit where he destroys the dam, like they spent such a long time on that scene, comparatively. Like it was pretty good. It looked good. I assume
the dam destroying? That was in the last movie. That was in Gyaos.
No.
Yeah, he destroys the dam in Gamera versus Gyaos. It's like the first thing he does after he gets out of the rocket, before the rest of the movie kicks off.
Well, regardless, it looked good. Circling back to the third film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These were actually like more so than any of the Godzilla films, I think. These all blended together so badly for me. I remembered all the events. I just was like, which one did this happen in?
Yeah.
And technically they all happened in the last film that we watched.
Like the fact that they use a lot of stock footage does not help for sure. Sure. But yeah, these are the lower budget versions. This is the off-brand Godzilla. Not wrong. At least for this part of the series. Yeah, so the kids escape. And I don't remember how that turns around. I know fighting back against the alien ship before his control collar gets destroyed.
I know they they do something to end the mind control, but I forget how that occurs. If I'm being honest.
Oh, is it because they reversed the polarity on like his attack that he goes to attack the ship then?
That sounds dumb enough. We can roll with that. Yeah.
Yeah, all Wikipedia has given me is the boys help Gamera break free of his brainwave device.
The last fight was pretty fucking good, though.
Yeah. I love Gamera, like, throwing one of the pods into another one as they try to escape.
Yeah, dude. And he gets,
that part's fucking great.
He gets gutted. That squid.
Yeah.
Spear.
So Viras is... So all of, like, the human alien things... reveal themselves by like the one alien who's like in alien form like swings his arm and all the heads pop off of the dudes, and then the same kind of alien squiggles out of like their suits.
Yeah,
so that they're all the same, and then they do the fusion technique.
Yeah, the fucking
in the hilarious like
lineup.
They're all lined up, and then like. They slide one over onto the other one, and then they like flash, and it gets the middle one in the middle gets bigger, and they do it for each one.
Yeah,
it gets bigger and bigger. They're combining, and so then they combine until they're a giant of that same monster costume.
Hell yeah!
And then that's the last fight is that versus Gamera. And, Gamera gets fucking wrecked for a lot of this fight.
Dude, that thing was, like, deep into his stomach.
Yeah, so it's peeled banana parts, like, come together to, like, create a point, and it stabs Gamera in the chest like multiple times.
Yeah,
Like goes in and out.
It's like
just digs in there. And then gets stuck in there. And then the fight turns in the weirdest way, where then Gamera, with this thing stuck out of him, starts goes into spin mode, flies up, and like the implication is that Virus is like freezing over because like he's so high in the atmosphere as Gamera spins him up, and then he's just like spinning for a while until Virus falls out of him.
Yeah, and plummets.
Yeah, and then falls into the ocean and dies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was
he freezes to death.
Yeah, it was an entertaining.
It's pretty good. Again, it's like the very end of this movie, but like, it's good. It's good monster action. It's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
There are good gifts.
I mean, yeah. I'm looking forward to more, I guess. Like, I'm not super stoked on these, I suppose, like I was with Godzilla, but like it's enjoyable for the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah. So technically there are 12 Gamera movies, but we're only going to watch 11 of them cuz the last one of this series isn't really, it has like almost no new Gamera footage. Like they really just use stock footage. There's like a scene where a not moving Gamera toy like crashes with a fake Star Destroyer. Like that's all the new Gamera footage is, and Gamera dies. There's like, no, Gamera's dead because we can't make any fucking more of these because this is fucking a sham of a movie. It's like what the behind the scenes is. Like the dude running is like, we can't make any more of these. He has to die at the end. But there is a scene where Gamera walks by a Godzilla sign and knocks it over. He really shows Godzilla. So I think for the next one of these, we'll watch the three last of this series that are like actual movies. And then we'll watch the first of the 90s trilogy, which is like the whole reason I care about Gamera is because that movie's actually fucking great.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's I remember you mentioning like that's what I'm here for.
Like the 90s Gamera is actually really fucking good. These are like one of the biggest reasons people in North America knew about Gamera was because they did these movies on Mystery Science Theater. And they were like public domain, like aired on TV or whatever for kids at some point.
Yeah.
What's funny is like on VHS, there were regular Gamera VHSs that were censored, and then there was a release for kids that was uncensored.
Well,
the 4Kids version was much better quality footage and unaltered.
Well, the kids can handle it.
Kids can handle all the spewing blood. It's fine.
Yeah, man.
Just a funny little anecdote. Also there's a Gamera joke in early Dragon Ball. Is like the only other cultural Gamera reference I can think of.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, that one I wouldn't.
Because Master Roshi, the turtle hermit, summons a baby Gamera to fly on.
Okay. Nice. Hell yeah.
So he sits on it, and as it spins around, he gets really
Fuck yeah. The best way to travel.
Well, the best way is the Nimbus, the flying cloud that you can sit on, but you have to be pure heart to do that, and Master Roshi is not pure of heart.
Well, if he was a child, maybe the Gamera wouldn't have spun around. So, that's true.
That's fair. But yeah, that's the first 4 Gamera movies.
Hell yeah. I have a confession to make. I was half worried that I was going to throw up during this episode. Been a wild
why?
day. Wild day
Oh.
for my stomach.
Fair enough.
We made it,
You
though.
made it.
I'm like,
made it.
it's fine. I just don't trust it. Meanwhile, when you and Paul told me about Horizon Zero Dawn, that came out of nowhere. Just suddenly, I had to go dry heave in the bathroom. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah. Also, these movies had the alternate titles in their US releases.
I was like, there was a bit of initial work trying to keep them separate, making sure I had the right one. But it was fine.
Gamera versus Virus was called Destroy All Planets
Yeah.
because Destroy All Monsters had come out shortly before that.
Gotta take advantage, dude.
Yeah, man. I don't remember what the other ones are.
Yeah. I know they were, it seemed like most of them were fairly drastic.
Yeah. I mean, so were the early Godzilla movies. But yeah, no, it's the 90s Gamera where it really kicks off.
Hell yeah.
I don't hate
ready.
the kid stuff as much as you do.
It's
But yeah, these movies aren't like, they're a special kind of you have to really, this is a deeper level than the Godzilla movies for giant monster movies, I'd say. It's like going deeper. Less production quality. Lower budgets. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the stock footage stuff as they go along is the bummer to me. But on the other hand, like, would I rather see more scenes of humans? No. I would rather just show me the Gamera stuff again, but it is part of what makes them bleed together.
yeah.
I have heard it said, like, maybe just watch the last one if you're going to watch one, because it has all the stock footage of the best stuff.
Hell yeah, a little Gamera clip show.
The other approach is maybe we just watch that last one and then
Try to figure out what all the other films are just from that footage.
yeah. All right. Let's see if we have any. Email us saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at saltcirclepod, Salt Circle Podcast, on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever fine podcasts are distributed. We should be. And I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm nowhere.
Hooray!
Yay!
A friend to no children.
I mean, you can imagine that I had that placeholder Instagram because I got a good name before it was taken, and that 10-year-old student I had who immediately added me on it. Absolute nightmare scenario. I've deleted that.
Honestly,
account.
as soon as like, I'm like, why would you delete your Twitter? Like, as soon as I remember, oh right, you're a teacher. Fucking purge everything, burn it to the ground.
I mean,
do not let them find you.
Ultimately, it's because like I was looking at it too much, but I still remember like after a certain point when me and Anya, I don't know if it's when we were engaged. Maybe we were engaged. But I remember one of her cousins, like, he's a little younger than us. We were talking. He's like, oh, I saw you did Let's Plays. I'm like, how the fuck would you know that? Well, I just Googled, and I'm like, no. You don't know my username. How did you find me, sir? How? And he had some. He's like, no, I just found it with your name. I really don't believe you, but fine. So that was a week of paranoia, like Googling my own name on private windows, trying to
connect yourself,
find myself. There was one thing, there was like some with my Twitter account, because I changed my name, and like the reason why I kept it like that for so long was like then like real life people who knew my regular username wouldn't find me as easily. And there was one comment I had responded to, like a company, like a support tweet, and their tweet was still using my old name. It was the only thing linking me to my old account. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Right. Let's get out of here. Peace.
Peace.